wide
Yeah.
receivers though. Finally,
Okay.
wide receivers. Would you say this was your toughest list?
Yes, for sure.
A lot of heavy hitters in
For
here.
sure, man. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
A few guys that personally didn't make my list, that I thought about, like a Christian Kirk, Amari Cooper, uh,
Wow.
Terry McLaurin,
Okay.
Debo, DJ Moore, Chicago. I wanted to get him in there. I tried so hard, but just the guys above him was just better.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, some of those guys just didn't make the list. And a guy who did make my list at number 10 was Mike Evans.
Okay.
1,000 yards in every year of his career so far. Gotta add him. Gotta add him in there.
Yeah.
Even though Tampa Bay disappointed. Um, yeah, he's Mr. 1K.
Yeah.
Um, just always been solid. Always gets to his threshold, and you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's why I put him over some of the younger guys who aren't established yet, because
Mhm.
he's just been real consistent throughout his whole career, which we appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny you say that because I got his teammate on my 10th,
Okay.
Chris Godwin. you know, since they had Brady there, they were, both of them was eating. To be honest.
Mhm.
Um.
Ready to get these guys paid.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Um. But yeah. So I mean, Mike Evans, stats way better than Chris Godwin's, of course. But Chris Godwin also had a lot of good numbers put up.
Mhm.
Um. Let me see. Actually, yeah. So he only ended the season with 3 touchdowns last year. Wow. Okay.
I mean, their stats look very similar.
Mhm.
Um, Mike Evans just had maybe like 100 more yards,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he had about three more touchdowns or
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
less
Yeah. Yeah.
touchdowns. Sorry. So yeah, there is an argument for which one you want on the list. Godwin was coming off of an ACL tear,
Okay.
so the fact that he came up and
I didn't
put up
even know
these
about that.
numbers, yeah. It's pretty impressive because guys usually don't look good after their first year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's respectable having him on there. Number 9, who you got?
Number 9,
Yep.
I got Amari Cooper.
Okay. It was an
Um.
argument. It was an argument.
Honestly, yeah, man. Yeah, it was hard to get him on there.
Mhm.
Um. Honestly, I like him mainly because he's a good overall receiver.
Yeah.
He's literally OP in Madden. Um, but yeah, man, I feel like he could perform way better on a different team,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Cleveland.
yeah, Cleveland's not it for him, man. But yeah, I just like the way he plays. I like the way he runs his routes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
At my number 9, I got a young guy coming in here, taking the league by storm. Jalen Waddle.
okay,
A very impressive year considering he was right next to Tyreek Hill.
yeah,
So, he's already getting a lot of catches. So you kind of think your production will slip, but he was a 1,300-yard receiver.
okay,
He had 8 touchdowns to go with it. He was just pretty solid. Another guy I had in fantasy.
okay,
Um, yeah, Jalen Waddle was very very good this year. And we're gonna see what it's like with consistent quarterback play. So to keep in mind, he put up great stats
hmm
with quarterbacks rotating in with Tua being out at some points during the season. So yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting year 2 for the Dolphins, and shit, they can make a Super Bowl run if
yeah,
as long as Tua is healthy.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Um, so next on my list, I got Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Um, um,
He was a guy that I wanted to put on my list
okay,
due to him being very consistent for a
hmm
long time. But Mike Evans took the cake for me. Uh, but yeah, what he put up this year?
4 receiving
Four
touchdowns.
touchdowns, 700 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
decent.
it's
It's
alright.
decent, yeah. But I mean, yeah, you see the years of work before then.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
So let's just call it a down year.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say it's a down year for sure.
yeah,
I feel like this is like he definitely put up way better stats in his
years
past.
prior,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
past season. But yeah, I just he's been my favorite receiver, one of my favorite receivers. So I had to add him to the list. I got all these receivers on here. I feel like they just it might not be everyone else's list, but I feel like they're just their play style is what really shine the light for me.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah.
hey, the eye test is always gonna outweigh the stat test.
hmm for sure.
Personally, personally. So yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
We gonna see if his prior years of work come back this year.
Yeah.
They did bring in a Quentin Johnson in the
Okay.
draft, so his touches might go down a bit more.
hmm
But yeah, we gonna see what Keenan Allen got next year. At number 8, I had C.D. Lamb.
Okay, I did as well.
All right, perfect. C.D. Lamb had a great season as the Cowboys' number one receiver, of course. About 1,400 yards to go with 9 touchdowns. Uh, Pretty solid year. He made Cooper Rush look like a solid quarterback when, you know, not really that good. Um, but C.D. Lamb had a great year, and that's why we have him coming in at 8.
Yep.
Yeah. At number 7, we have, I guess you could call a rival, and AJ Brown.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh
Always open.
damn,
Comes up the bank.
that's crazy. I did not add him on my
Damn, you have
list.
AJ.
What the hell?
You got his teammate at least. Yeah, you have his teammate, dude. It's cool. It's cool. He had a great year. Very exceptional year. You could argue that he could switch out with my number 6 slot, who I'll
Mhm.
get to. But the guy at 6 been doing it a bit longer.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really the only reason why. But yeah, 11 touchdowns, 1,500 yards.
Okay.
Very good season as the number one option on a Super Bowl team. So we're gonna see what him and Jalen Hurts formulate this offseason, and maybe they can make that final push to get that ring.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So next on my list I have Jalen Waddle.
Okay. It's at
Uh,
6, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
6.
yeah. Yep. Um, you know, honestly, I see him as like a little baby Tyreek Hill,
Maybe Reek.
baby Reek. They that's a good duo they got going on in Miami. Um, I'm not really sure the numbers he put up this season.
I got you. He had 1,400 yards and 8
14.
touchdowns.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
not bad at all. It's not bad at all. And their team's actually loading up with a couple weapons. But yeah, Jalen Waddle, I feel like he's a really good player. Um, he was a little, you know, there was a little, rumors going on how people would say like he was going to be a big receiver in the league because due to his height and stuff. But he's actually performing really well, and you could see it from last year's tape. But yeah, that's why I got him on my six placed on my list.
Number 5, I had Cooper Cup, who had a
Okay.
down year, I guess, to his standards. He did only play 9 games, but still wound up with 800 yards. So I mean, he was on pace to another high receiving year.
Yeah.
A year prior, he had a 2K, almost a 2K receiving, season, which would have broke the record for most receiving yards in a season. So he's definitely up here due to his past history. Hopefully he makes a big comeback next year and gets his stats back up. But yeah, Cooper Cup at 5 seems like a pretty solid spot for him because the guys above him did a lot more than him, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So on my fifth, I had Justin Jefferson. Even though yeah, 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 man. Um, but I feel like the players I have above him, are, like even though I feel like they're definitely because they had some experience in the league, so that's why you know they're they're in that place. But yeah, Justin Jefferson, I feel like he could have definitely been higher on my list. Um, but yeah, he's a good receiver as well. He pretty much carries the Vikings, and yeah,
Yeah. Um, that's something. Yeah, we're gonna get to where I got Jefferson. But at 4, I did have Jamar Chase,
Okay.
his teammate, former teammate. Jamar Chase, I guess you could say, had a down year to last year, which was an exceptional year. But it's just a lot of mouths to feed over there in Cincinnati with the Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a lot going on there. So you shouldn't really take into account his counting stats.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, Jamar Chase is he can definitely make an argument for that number 2 spot next year. But I just feel like it comes with time,
Hmm.
comes with longevity, just being consistent, and yeah, I mean he's still very young, second year in the league,
Hmm.
so coming on to his third. So we're gonna see what Jamar Chase has in upcoming future.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Um. Oh.
yeah,
Okay. Wait. No,
we on third.
okay. Oh yeah, I have Jamar Chase on my third as well. So
Okay.
yeah, I feel like yeah. I mean, I agree with everything you said. So I'm gonna just go to the second. So
Hold on,
second on
I,
my
I ain't do my third yet. Hold on, hold on.
okay.
At third, I had Tyreek Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy. Right.
he had another insane year. As you know, it's kind of talked about that he relied on Mahomes a lot, and he kind of came in and just shut everybody up. 1,700 receiving yards to go with what 7 touchdowns. He had a great year, and he was sharing that with a Jalen Waddle and having a bit inconsistent quarterback play
Yeah.
that also has to get taken into account. So yeah, Tyreek Hill had a great year, and again, I'm trying to see if these Dolphins really gonna take it to the next level
Yeah, man.
and go get him another one. It would definitely be a slap in the face to all those people if he got a ring without Mahomes. So yeah, see what the Dolphins can do.
Yeah. Um. Well, my second is Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
So just piggybacking off of what you said, um, I feel like they got a good foundation going on in in Miami.
Mhm.
Um, even though it's kind of, I feel like it's going to be difficult to share the ball with Tariq and Waddle,
Yeah.
but I feel like they're I feel like they're going to be able to make the Super Bowl soon. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
bro, I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting really.
All right. All right.
But nah,
Two more
let's
spots, man. Two more
I got
spots. At number 2, we got Devontae Adams. Um,
that's crazy because that was the
that's your
last. That's
that's
my
your
number
one.
one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
that's crazy.
Um,
You looked at my
yeah.
list or something? Like, what's going on? But no, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like at 2,
Okay.
he had a great year with Derek Carr and the dysfunctions of Las Vegas. He's another guy who came in and shut up doubters because they
Hmm.
were saying, "Oh, he's that way because he's with Aaron Rodgers." He came in and just did his job, got to it. Usually the top receiver, but I think someone finally throned him here. But no disrespect to Devontae Adams, he's still top 2. You just had 2.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had him as number one on my list.
Mhm.
I feel like honestly, I don't know. I feel like he is. I feel like he belongs at number one, even though most people would, put that up to debate.
Yeah.
But he didn't really. I mean, he still got some time at the Raiders. They just lost Derek Carr, a good quarterback. So it might take him some time to really,
I got Jimmy
perform.
G.
Jimmy G. Oh. Okay. All right. I mean,
Something.
he's something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Jimmy G's not bad. He's
Yeah.
not a bad quarterback at all. But yeah, I mean, this season for the Raiders is going to be interesting. Actually, I want to see how they perform. But
Tough division.
with
Tough
Devontae
division, yeah.
Adams on their team, I feel like they could definitely withstand the division.
Yeah. Shit, if I was him, I'd come out and request a trade. I ain't
Yeah,
signing up for this.
definitely.
Damn, I was promised a good roster, but
Yeah.
ain't that good.
He should have stayed at Green Bay, bro. To be
Shit, I'm
honest.
glad he got out of there.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, yeah. It fell
Um,
apart. Green Bay kind of
yeah,
crumbling right now.
yeah, yeah. Number one, the guy that he had at five for some reason.
Wow.
I
Who?
got him at one, Justin Jefferson. I think that he dethroned Devontae Adams. Another big year, and it's supposed to be an even better one.
Yeah.
Because they are losing out on Dalvin Cook, who I
Mm,
guess he didn't really pose that much as a receiving threat, but that's just another, I guess, another mouth that you don't have to feed. And I mean, yeah, his work speaks for himself. One of the best route runners I ever got to watch. I feel like, just very fluid in his game, and I feel like in the next coming years he's going to be the undisputed number one receiver in the league.